What's up, guys? So today I have a couple of hot knives to show you. We got a green one and a black one. Pretty hot, right? Hot knives. What's the brand? Well, it's Hot Knives, right? It's right on the handle here. Hot Knives. So these are Amazon finds, and I could not have been more impressed. So the brand of these knives is literally Hot Knives, which I think is not a great name, honestly. However, it's a shame because these are actually really good knives. Both of these are in the $50 range. I don't know offhand the models. They don't have a whole bunch. If you look on Amazon, you can see they're like Amazon store. I'm not even sure if they have a website, to be honest. I don't know who's actually producing these. I don't think there's like a factory called Hot Knives. It's probably made by someone else. You know how the industry works. But these are seriously impressive for 50 bucks. Now, both of these are sporting the same blade steel, which is a Sandvik 14C28N, which I'm totally fine for. It's pretty common on a lot of these type knives in the price range. Again, two different representations or two different designs, essentially, from the same company, and they're both awesome. They're both very cool in their own respects, but, like, it's just one of those things. Like, I know some people are very much into just the name brand stuff. To me, this is off-brand. Right? This is a no-name brand. Hot Knives. Have you even ever heard of them? I've not heard of them. In fact, if you Google Hot Knives, every result you're going to get is about hot knifing, like heating up two butter knives and pinching like a piece of weed in between them, and smoking weed that way, right? Like we did in like the 90s. Teenager stuff, right? Yeah, that's what hot knifing is, right? So you won't even find these easily in a search. You have to go to Amazon, type hot knives or whatever, and hope to find it. So branding wise, I think it was a little bit of a miss there, but wow, for quality, these things are really, really nice for 50 bucks, right? G10 handle scales, again, Sandvik blade steel. I do prefer this one as far as the overall design. We have a flat butt end, which doesn't affect anything as far as our grip goes. It's actually pretty comfortable. No jimping or anything. We have a crossbar style lock or axis lock, right? These both, like initial impressions, they come across as being very lightweight and very loose. Not loose in that, oh man, this should be tightened, but like just smooth. Like there's just no resistance. The blades flick open very easily. The axis style locks have a very light spring on them, so they're just really easy to manipulate. Some knives come super stiff. These don't, but there's no blade play. It is perfectly locked up. No blade play at all. Like the actual fit and finish of these knives are very, very well done. Even like the pivot, you can see obviously we have presentation size, so we have these like oversized pivot screws with a little tiny head. But like the indent in them, it's just a nice little touch. This one has the carbon fiber G10 laminate, so it's not full carbon fiber, it's a carbon fiber layer on top of the G10. So it gives you that look you want, but it's obviously going to be cheaper. They're just really, really nice. This is also very comfortable. Some people might prefer this style. This is nice because it has the ambidextrous thumb studs, but also has the opening slot, let's call it. Right, so if you prefer that, you can certainly do that if you want to open it nice and slowly. But these have like the fidget factor times 100 because they're so smooth. It takes no effort to flick it open, no effort to manipulate the bar, right? And again, I mean, to me that means it's a lighter spring. Does that mean it's going to break? I don't know, maybe. These didn't break. I've been playing with these a lot. I carry and use this one. I do not carry this one, but just playing around with it. Again, simple designs. 50 bucks, you know what I mean? I dig them. I really like these a lot. All right. You can see we have a partial spacer in the back on both of these. All right. If you wanted to throw a lanyard, this one does have a lanyard hole on it. This one does not. All right. But they're just pretty cool. They're pretty cool. I've been kind of into trying just all these different Chinese brands on Amazon stuff. As you could probably notice lately, there's a bunch of different random brands I'm trying out. And they're pretty good. Honestly, it's just, for the money, it's just one of those things where, like, I just did a video. Let's see, I have my Benchmade Reptilian here, right? This is a classic, very nice knife, right? This knife is sporting D2. This knife is, comfortable in the hand. This is American made. This is expensive. This is not. Is this going to do what this does? Pretty much. Not the same way. Obviously, the blade steels are different. You could have different edge retention. But just in general, like just the grand scheme of things, yeah. If you carry this knife, $100+ knife, or if you carry this knife, $50 knife, they're going to do the same thing. This one happens to be lighter, it happens to be thinner. They both function, again, in a very similar manner with the axis lock here. Fantastic knife, totally fine knife. This one brings a lot more, I guess, personal joy. Like, there's definitely something to be said when you have name brand stuff. There's a satisfaction, you know, like when you're wearing Nike shoes compared to, you know, Billy Bob's shoes. You know, there is a pride of ownership thing. When we have these brandings and society says this is a good quality product and we have these names and stuff, we want those names because we want to know we have a quality product. Now, you can have a very good quality company that makes a piece of junk, or the one you got is a lemon, you know what I'm saying? And you can also have a no-name company that's making phenomenal stuff that no one knows about or cares. You know, you would assume a company called Hot Knives that make $50 knives probably makes junk. From my experience, I only have 2 of their models here, but this is far from junk. These are actually very good, usable knives. Again, no blade play. I've had knives out of the box, $200, that had blade play, right? So locks up solid. Again, maybe there's a lack of the excitement for the blade steel. Totally proven. Again, used in thousands of knives. No issue at all with that. You know, it's appropriate for the price tag. Again, is it, you know, Magna Cut or something super, you know, like S90V or anything that people are looking for and loving these days? No, it's not. It's not exciting in that, you know, aspect of things if you're super focused on your blade steel stuff. But it's still a very good knife for the money. The designs are actually very good as well, right? Again, if you're into jimping, no jimping on either one of these. I don't really miss it, you know, but it's just one of those things. If you're used to it, maybe that's something you pick this knife up and subconsciously go, I don't know, something about this I don't like. Oh, there's no jimping. You know, to each their own. All those kind of specific, you know, design details. But I'm just here to say sometimes it's worth, especially if you're on a budget, but even if you're not, even if you got plenty of dough to buy the cool knives, sometimes you might want to check out some of the cheaper stuff or the more affordable stuff because you might be missing out. You know, I like the, I like the journey, you know what I'm saying? So I like trying them all. The cheap stuff, the no-name stuff, the, you know, expensive stuff, the name brand stuff, whatever's popular, what's unpopular. I love knives. I love them all for different reasons. For these, there's no personal, you know, pride of ownership in that sense. It's not American made. It's not a company I know about. I don't know where these are coming from or who's making them really. But they're just good knives. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's like if you bought, let's say there was cars that were known brand name. You can go and you could buy, you know, a brand new Honda Civic, or you could buy, let's say you go to the car dealership and there's just some no-name car there for $8,000, brand new. You know it was made in China. But, you know, it gets you to work back and forth. It's kind of like that. If they offered, like if there was the Chinese knives in the car market, there'd be a lot of trouble for all the name brand car companies because the competition is tough. It's very stiff. You know, again, 20, 30 years ago, a Chinese knife meant that it was crappy. That is just not the case. It is far from it these days. Politics aside, personal feelings aside, patriotism aside, if you're just talking about the products that are in front of me are good working folding knives for a decent price. A lot of people aren't going to like the details of that it's made in China and it's some kind of stupid name, to be honest. But they work really well. It's just hard to just deny that. You know what I mean? I don't want them to work well. I want to see American-made knives for half the price that are amazing and perfect every time. It's not always the case. You know what I'm saying? It's just, it is what it is. I don't care where things are made, or again, when I'm trying a product out, I try to keep my personal feelings out. Like, you want my personal feelings? What the hell, America? Why is China starting to, like, beat us in the knife market? That's my personal feelings. You know, but when you do a review on something and you're trying to give an honest opinion, you keep those out. Because otherwise, I could make a video and be like, more Chinese junk. I'd much prefer my Medford, or I want my Spyderco or my Benchmade. This is just piece of crap. That's not true. And I try to bring you guys the truth. The truth is that these are not pieces of crap, unfortunately. And also, fortunately, you know, so if you're in the $50 to $60 price range for a new knife and you don't mind, it says hot knives on there, hey, it's a pretty good option. So that's my purpose, is here to tell you about stuff like this, because I don't know anyone else who is. But anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know if you've had a hot knives. I doubt it. I don't think any person watching this video even knows these exist. And there's probably dozens more. And the same thing goes with the flashlight market. You know, I do a lot of different flashlight stuff, and again, it's the same brands over and over, Through Night and Olight and Nightcore and Streamlight and Surefire and, you know, Maglite. These are like the top 10, you know, name brands, but there's so many off-brand names, and they're making pretty much the same stuff, you know, in some cases. In some cases, not so much. What you get with the flashlights that you're not seeing so much with the knife industry is the inconsistencies. Like, for example, with a flashlight, you get some no-name flashlight, it's going to be totally fine, and then maybe like day 3 you drop it and that's it. It took nothing to mess up the circuit inside, or circuit board or whatever, and now it's broken. Whereas if you have a brand name, maybe the welds are better, it just takes a little bit more beating, that kind of thing. With knives, what you get is probably, and it's not to say this brand, because I'm not talking about this specifically, I have zero experience with customer service or warranty here, but like when you go with an American name company, like Emerson, if I had a problem with this Emerson knife, I can call Emerson. I can email Emerson. I can go to Emerson's Facebook page or their Instagram page or all over social media, and I can say, hey, listen, I have a problem with my knife. And 9 out of 10 times, 99 out of 100 times, they're going to say, all right, cool, send it to us. We're going to fix it for you, or we're going to replace it for you. No big deal. If I call Hot Knives, is anyone even going to pick up? If I write an email, are they going to write back? I don't know. I'm just saying. That's why some people prefer some of these more expensive brands, because you do get this peace of mind and this warranty that's attached to it. This warm, fuzzy feeling inside, right? Now, of course, some of you are thinking, I can take a dump in a box and mark it guaranteed. That makes you feel good at night. But you know what I'm saying, right? So, like, there's a couple additives as to why people are spending $150 on a knife, $200 on a knife, because, again, pride of ownership, American made, you know, and really the warranty. The fact that if something happens to it, it's probably going to get, you know, fixed. Now, you usually don't get all that with some Chinese product. However, I will say that some of these brands, they will have very good customer service, and it will surprise you, and you will be taken care of. But it's kind of hit and miss, that's all. You're getting a heavily discounted product that's pretty good as far as the quality goes, but kind of a question mark as to if something happens to it, am I going to get taken care of? You don't really know. That's going to be company to company, and even within the same company, that's going to be hit and miss. But really the same thing could be said for some of the American brands. You know, every major knife company, someone out there had an issue with them, and they feel like they got screwed over and they don't like the company anymore. But at the end of the day, my purpose is to tell you my experiences with things. That's what I do on YouTube. I'm not brand myopic. I'm not a fanboy of anything. There's certain things I certainly like more than others overall, but I like to try everything. It's all about the journey. So today, you learned a little bit about hot knives. We don't know that much, but I'm here to tell you that after actually playing around with these things and using them a little bit, they are actually good, decent knives for the price. So very, very surprising. Who knows how many endless brands are out there that no one even heard of, and they're just missing out because they're making some pretty cool stuff. Would I wish this had a different logo on it for the same price? Yes. I wish this was the Spyderco pointy finger or something, and it had, you know, S90V in it, and it was still $55. But that's not reality. That's not what it is. It's a hot knife. It's a Samick blade, and it was $53 or $54 or something on Amazon. So anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you tomorrow with a brand new video. Take care.